drive a car, it's likely that you have automobile insurance. You pay premiums twice a year to cover any expenses that you might incur in an accident. You hope it never happens, but you know you'll have some help if and when some damage occurs to your car. You may pay thousands of dollars over the years for insurance and never make a claim on your policy. Your insurance company won't give you the money back. You've been paying for peace of mind. Doesn't this sort of thing really annoy you? Once in a while, something happens and your company has to pay out. It might even happen to you, as it did to me a few years ago, that your car is damaged beyond repair and the amount of money you receive in compensation just doesn't match the value that you placed on your car. But even if you never make a claim on your insurance policy, there are thousands of dollars that you spend in maintaining that car. Just because you have insurance for accidents doesn't mean that your insurance company will pay for tune-ups, oil changes, new tires, all the things that keep your car running safely. Car insurance does not pay your mechanic. Even though it reduces the chances of your having an accident, you must pay for maintenance yourself. Even though you have insurance on your house, you must pay the plumber when your sink leaks. No one questions this common sense, but when it comes to health care, many people have been trained to believe that they should not have to pay for services. Before conventional medicine became big business by joining with the insurance industry, people had to pay out of pocket for medical care and never thought twice about it. Medical fees were much lower then, of course, but today, healthcare is the largest industry in the country. People seek medical solutions for every problem, even minor ones, and have come to rely on insurance and medicine because, well, insurance will pay for most of the medicine bill. They only have to make a small copay, they figure. So it's easy to come to think of medical services as a right rather than a privilege. What's not clear to most people is that the very industry that gave them that luxury is the reason medical costs are so high. Because insurance was paying for it, healthcare practitioners of all types began doing more procedures, ordering more tests than they would have otherwise. More visits were scheduled, more drugs were prescribed, more treatments were given, and more expensive diagnostic methods became the norm. Now, with the increased medical interventions, the number of adverse events increased tremendously. More drugs means more side effects. More hospital procedures means more hospital-acquired infections. All this means that doctors are sued more often, so malpractice insurance also goes up. Then they must charge more to cover the increased costs because of the malpractice. Before, no one would have routinely ordered all these things for a person of moderate income. The doctor would know the patient could not pay for it. Moreover, the patient would go to another doctor. In some cases, the sincere doctor saw insurance coverage as a way to get better care for a patient who could not afford it, and a way to do a better job by not avoiding more expensive procedures that might make the difference for that person's health. Not all healthcare practitioners were money grubbing, but they all became ensnared in the insurance net. If you didn't use big money medicine, you were guilty of not adhering to the current standard of care, and you could be found negligent. A lawsuit could take away everything you worked for, or you could lose your hospital privileges or your license. So the insurance era was here. A generation later, the doctor of today knows no other way to practice. Meanwhile, the insurance industry continues to raise premiums while stubbornly not paying for the services that the public says it wants most: natural medicine. This is why 2/3 of the American public is paying for it out of pocket. I was a Blue Cross Blue Shield provider for 9 years, and was reimbursed by PEIA for as many years. And every so often, each of these agencies would change their minds about paying for our services, and they would say that their policy did not include my specialties. After a long fight, they would start paying again, but whatever policy they had was vague. They would pay for one patient's office visit, but not for acupuncture. They might pay for a different patient's vitamins, but not the treatment. And still a third patient would have his or her acupuncture covered, but not an office call. Finally, they told me they never covered my services. Why did they give me a provider number and pay me off and on for 9 years? I am convinced that the medical insurance industry is keeping people sick and keeping big money medicine alive. I will not cooperate with them. I'm sure that every 3 or 4 weeks you have your hair trimmed just like I do, and I'm just as sure that you pay cash for that professional service. If you or I get a massage, which I consider to be a valid form of preventive medicine, by the way, we pay $60 or more in cash. My fee for an office visit is in line with other professional services, some of which don't deliver the slightest benefit to your health, having your nails done, for example. I don't see any reason to take a second seat to another service that is not helping you live longer and live better. I'm sympathetic to the many people who want services like mine but cannot afford it. I cannot be as sympathetic to those who want someone else to pay for it. In most, if not all, areas of life, there is a truism. If you don't want something badly enough to pay for it, you don't want it badly enough. I personally pay more for organic food, vitamins, natural fiber clothing, and other items that I think help my health than other people pay for the same items. At the same time, I don't go to sports events. I drove a 1993 car until it was destroyed, and I don't even have TV service. So I have divided up my dollars to pay for the things that are important to me, and I assume you do likewise. I've noticed in now 35 years of practice that the people who get the most benefit from my services are those who sacrifice the most to get them. It's my honor and privilege to serve people who really want to get better and who will do the work to accomplish that. I can do my best work for you when I don't have to do insurance paperwork. Thank you for understanding.